Today I'm here with Bozhidar Simeonov from Bulgaria. Um, Again, I will say how I feel. Most people don't know who you are, and you might be the baddest right arm under 80 kilos in the world. You have been WAF World Champion how many times?
Among first, hello everybody. It's nice seeing you. Uh, among seniors, it was 2 years in a row since 2019. I
Since
finished second, yes, on right arm.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2016, it's just among juniors.
In a youth class, under 21. Under 21.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in juniors under 18 and in youths just once, but it was 2017 with seniors as well.
Okay. Okay. So in total, count them all together, how many?
It's like 3 years in a row, 4 different classes, like categories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's if like, because I know many people who, in English speaking part, they kind of don't know the level of buff pullers. They know they're strong, and they kind of ignore when you don't talk much and you don't promote yourself. And this is why I wanted to talk to you, because I believe like you have one of the most entertaining styles. Like the hook pulling from you is just insane. Yeah, everyone who want to see a good match of yours, go to Nomad Armwrestling. In January 27, they posted a video. I think you filmed it back in 2020. Yes.
Yeah, it was a little bit before New Year.
Yeah.
As I remember, I think it was in December we put. Yeah, but I'm still waiting for the left arm video because it's not better, but it's better result,
Okay.
He,
So, but who you pulled? What was the Yarmachuk? Yarmachuk.
yes,
Yeah.
Sergey Yermochik.
Yeah, from Kazakhstan. Former WAF World Champ as well. Yeah. 75.
I think he's prize winner. Before I watched some videos, he is really strong hook puller. He gave a lot of hard times to Hristo Delijakov under 70 kilos.
Okay.
But he was really impressive back then last year when we put. I didn't expect such a fight. Maybe I wasn't prepared so good for this fight, but I thought I really could win easier. But inside it was
a war.
It was one of the, or maybe the hardest matches in my life.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Since the first round, second and third, it went over 1 minute. It was like living hell on the table.
Like I'm gonna post it in the description so you can go and watch it. But round one, I remember I turned in, I put round one, and it's 2 minutes in a hook basically, like straight from the start, like right in. And it was a great match. Your endurance was much better than his because he kind of died out at the end, So you just powered through. We're gonna talk about that as well. But so you've been competing in WAF mostly. Have you competed in Zloty or no?
Just once.
Just once.
2017, when I became senior champion with both arms. I said, okay, let's give it a shot in Zloty, and they just destroyed me. Everyone. Not everyone, but it was really tough category. It was also Vladislav was third on right there.
Oh yeah, that year I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. The Zloty is a different beast. Zloty is kind of different.
For sure.
If you're a natural puller that you are, you go to WAF Worlds and you expect everyone to be, somewhat human. And sometimes guys show up at Zloty and they're not human at all. Yeah, that is true.
Yes, but also I've seen Zloty prize winners who can't.
Of course. Yeah.
Can get in top 3 in WAF. So it depends, maybe which time of the year, how you prepared.
Yeah. I remember
your previous competitions.
In 2019, No, 2018. When was Turkey? 18?
18, yes.
18. Like Vresh had this crazy match in the final versus Oniani. Just one of the best matches in that competition. And I remember he was WAF World Champion 75. 75?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he came to Zloty and he had nothing, basically nothing. He's like, my arm still hurt from those matches because I think it was September or I think October, and then Zloty is at December, and when you have these wars like he had, like you cannot show your best showing at all, and it's a lot of people don't understand when you have tough competitions one after another. It's hard to expect that you're going to perform same only when you're above everyone and you don't take damage. With your style, you almost all the time you take damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there is another hook puller on your level, it's getting crazy,
I remember we're in Romania, and like you get in a big, like 2 or 3 hook wars you had with Zimpak, I think. And I
Yeah.
remember Vlad's like, Boži again. I'm looking, and you're like sitting there. Like, I think the first match already was a war, and somehow, like, it was crazy.
You
80 kilo class was crazy.
I wanted to quit, because on left I finished 7th, maybe, as I remember, something like this. And
Yeah.
on right, I'm first match with Hamza, and we make more than 1 minute fight, and I lose. And I'm just sitting there, and I was not feeling myself,
Yeah, I remember that. It's tough. That's the, like, if you have real powerful hook, and if you're only one, that's great. You can just run through everyone. But as soon as someone stops you, it drains. It drains. Gives more options to everyone else. And it's like for arm wrestlers like Vlad, who's very explosive and very hand oriented, he's like, okay, this guy is gone. This guy
Yeah.
is gone. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's like in the supermarket. He's just marketing, like marking everyone.
Yeah, in super matches, that's great. And like I have been speaking to Neil and everyone else, and I said like we need Bozhidar in WL. Like every match would be spectacular because I don't believe that anyone just can flash pin you really easily in at least three rounds. I think that's impossible, and I think every time you would be, that's a war, and that's from what I notice about you, that's what you like, have these wars.
Yeah, I would like to put there as well. There are some great arm wrestlers, and now my weight class is something close to them. So this morning I was 78.5. So now I'm okay with kilos
Okay.
for
Okay.
the lightweights.
For the lightweights, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, that's big problems to lightweights. What's going on? Engin posted something about some super matches. What's going on there? What's the situation?
I'm preparing now for there. First, I had to pull with Makarov. And believe me, I started preparing really bad for this match. I was really hyped about it. But Russian nationals are close.
Yeah.
So we couldn't manage to pull. And my next opponent was Daniel Prokopchuk from Moldova. All right, I think it could be really interesting, but after a few weeks, the format changed. So now we are 8 people in one category.
Yeah.
From Turkey, there are Murat, Yusuf, and Emre. Emre
Yeah.
from 75, Murat from 70, and Yusuf, who is also in 65 WAF champion. And now we are all like close to 75, but we will pull under 78 kilos. And Christo is also coming, Del Jaco from Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Mindaugas and Prokopchuk also, and me. So we are pulling in one category.
2 top rollers, 6 hook pullers. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
something like this.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not sure if I forgot his name now. This guy who put with Cherkasov last
Oh,
super
I
match.
know. Yeah.
I'm
I know.
really sorry, but I
Yeah,
forgot his name.
yeah. That was a crazy match. That
Yeah, he's really fast.
and the
Really fast.
Cherkaso, like he lost everything and he still, it's incredible. He's so
Uh,
crazy.
he's really strong. He's really strong, but I don't know why he is always trying to hook everybody without strap. Every
Yeah, he's
time.
like
E-
keeps holding on for no reason.
every
Slip out.
fucking time.
Yeah,
Like I before I was scared when I was pulling in competitions if I could manage to get to the strap. And he doesn't even care. He just go he makes his move every
yeah,
time.
yeah.
I
And
don't know.
if he gets something, he never lets go. He just stays there.
Yes, yeah. And even in strap he's so much stronger and has so much better results in strap.
Yeah,
I don't know why he's doing this every time. Every time.
yeah. He's how Vladislav called him death because he kills everyone. You know, he
Yeah.
just like sucks everything out of you. You know, like you stop him and it looks like okay, I'm in better position. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, Cherkaso is very
It's
impressive.
it's both ugly and so impressive, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So that's eight man tournament, and you're gonna pull like basically tournament system, like super match with each one
It's
and going
like
up, or
it's like heavier with heavier. We will be like
okay,
first round. It will be like weight classes. Like
okay,
maybe I will pull with Emre first, and we'll see what will be our what will the scale what will
okay.
scale show.
So the heaviest guy versus heaviest guy, lightest, and then it's
Yes,
it's it's a small super matches, 2 wins or something like
I
that.
think it's one match. First,
One match.
yeah, first it was everyone with everyone like
Okay.
2 out of 3, and it was really crazy, you
Too
know.
much. Too much. That's too
Yeah,
much. Yeah.
the same day they told me this, I went to the gym and like I made workout like I've been preparing for 21 matches. Like I made like 100 reps each set,
Yeah.
each arm. Like it was crazy. But after we talked and like maybe it will be like double elimination, something like this.
Yeah. Both arms.
Just right.
Just right. Okay. Because I'm very excited for that because that's not flashy arm wrestling. That's quality arm wrestling. These are like the top guys from each weight class on the planet. You know, top 5. You can make an argument for almost everyone there, and or at least at some point top 5. And I think like if it would be super match like I don't know best of 2 or something like that, that would be best of 3, so 2 wins for each. That would be interesting because first you need power to win the first matches and then you need endurance to survive, you know, at the end.
For sure.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. I was hyped. I'm ready even for this type of tournament. It will be really interesting. Like who will run out of fuel first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you get a bad if you get a bad draw and you get in really bad position and you want to win the first round, you know, it's so crazy. But that's interesting. I love that part about arm wrestling because you don't only have to be strong, everything you need to be technical and tactical. You need to like how do I win this match taking less damage and things like that. So I think that format is really good and some matchups that I would love to see. I would love to see versus Prokopchuk. I would love to see versus Mindaugas. You know, can Mindaugas stay away from your hook? That's very interesting because he is so good at staying out of trouble, basically. Yeah.
I think he's in really good shape now. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone, I think everyone's like underground training. The only problem is you cannot test it. You feel good because your arms haven't been beat up like we usually do. Competition takes and everything else and mental. And if you kind of, you're in your groove, you're training, everyone feels powerful. You feel like, yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Another thing is you're of a product of Bulgarian arm wrestling training. Can you explain it to people who don't know how your training works?
I thought about this morning, that throughout the years since I started, since junior, I became a little bit more lazy. Or maybe because my confidence went higher, I become lazier, because when I started, I remember
you want to reach the top. You really you work more than anyone else to reach the top.
Well, as I remember, we started like me, Krasi, and Sasho, like more famous to the arm wrestling community. We've been pulling like for 5 or 6 hours or even more every day. We've been pulling like after school. I was student when I started, and after school I went directly to workout. Like at 3, it was our first routine. Then at 8, and we had one late night routine at 12. Sometimes, most of the times, when Krasi or Sashu were preparing for competition, for serious, we've been working out 3 times a day. Like 3 days we've been working out 3 times. One day it was like rest day. We made just one practice. It was like these schemes, like. But the most crazy stuff we did back then, it was like 10 arm wrestling practices for 2 days.
In a week. In 2 days.
In 2 days. Like, I remember I slept in the gym back then. Like, first routine is over. I go to sleep on the bench for 1 hour. I wake up and we continue. Like, we've done a lot of crazy stuff. I also remember like 2 summers back, we had like arm wrestling practice late night with Krasi, with Kostadinov, like from 1 to 3, something like this, and he asks, how much can we endure? And I told him, I'm sure I can until the morning,
Yeah.
but I'm not so sure about you. And we took some sweets, we ate after the routine, but we did also, it was like third routine for the day, and we continued until 5:30, something like this, until the morning. And
crazy.
And this crazy mother did it on the next day as well with Sonev and with Dimitrina. We had like festival on the river here, on the Danube River, and they did it on the other night as well. They put for a whole night. Like, it's insane, but I'm not sure how much you can preserve yourself. So I completely changed my routines since 2016, 17. It's similar, but I've changed it a little bit for myself.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to have something crazy at the beginning, to reach the top. And it's like it's not like every Bulgarian arm wrestler that does that survives. You need some genetics to be able to, because I would imagine the pain is some crazy. Pain. You don't have pain when you pull, most likely. When the arms are warmed up, but when you stand there, arms hurt.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I've had like examples when even I come home, I cry from elbow pain, or I go to the gym with my bike, and after I just push it back home. It was crazy. Like, it was really insane. First levels were.
But that makes you a champ. That made you champ. I believe. Like being that, like reach certain level, you need some certain craziness in your training, because everyone's like, we train sometimes 4 or 5 hours in the gym, and that's everyone else like, oh, 2 hours, that's enough. And we're like, I don't think so. So
For sure.
that yes, it's different craziness for different people, but the Bulgarian system is so crazy, because like I know my arms wouldn't hold up. I would be like back in the back in the road there. I'm like, no, thank you. But a
Yeah.
lot of people can survive, and you can survive. And Krasi is a big fan of that. Krasi's, I think if he would be able, he would not even sleep, just pull all day.
Yeah, maybe it's not Bulgarian system, but it's his system,
Yeah, it could be.
because he invented this and put it in our arm wrestling community. But a lot of people started seeing better and better results since doing it. But as well, I've talked to John, in Moldova, 2018, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah,
And he told me what he told me. He told me that you can be on top for 1-2 years, maybe. But the most important is to preserve yourself, to be in arm wrestling for longer.
yeah, yeah.
Because you can reach better result by this, but how long your arms will endure?
Yeah, that's I like when someone says they do something crazy, I'm like, good, but just don't overdo it for too long. When you do overdo it for too long, you're damaging, and you keep damaging and damaging, and you need to change. This is why sometimes you like in Moldova, like Travis did his seminar, and he said, you were that when he was doing his seminar.
No, because
No?
we took from the wrong border, and our trip went like 5 hours longer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
So
we took the wrong border, so yeah, we skipped this.
Yeah. But so he said like he shows exercises with resistance bands, and he's like, you do this, and this is how you train and everything else. And for me, I say like that's how he can train right now when he has reached a certain level. But to build good foundation, you need that weight, you need that hard sparring on table and everything else.
You need to cry first.
Exactly. Oh, first 10 years, just
First.
then you get used to pain.
For sure. And first 10 years, but now when I stopped with arm wrestling, maybe I've stopped like for 1 month, like practice. This summer I stopped maybe for 2-3 months, but I continued doing bands, like exercises for arm wrestling.
Yeah.
But when you start, it's like you're starting from the beginning. First 1 month, maybe I had some crazy pains in my elbows.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah. For me, it's always when I take a break, that's when everything hurts. I'm like, I need to work out. My arms are hurting. When you keep working out, you kind of, after some point, you don't feel anything. You're like, this feels fine, It's a weird one.
When I stopped my sparrings, I felt a lot healthier, But I didn't feel complete because arm wrestling was, for some part of my life, away from it. Yeah. I needed to feel this pressure in my arms in the morning when I wake up.
I remember
missed it.
you told me I don't know, it was I think in Europeans it was in Greece, like in after party we're talking, you're like, no, I need to train, like I want to feel that my arms are completely smashed after every training session. If I don't feel that, I train more.
Yeah, it's like I need to wake up destroyed in the morning. That's when you did it 100% right.
Yeah.
You just, if you can't wake up in the morning, that's it. That's the secret.
That's the secret. That's exactly. So everyone's listening, if you've been training for 20 minutes a day, that's not how you become world champ. You train more. You train 3 times, 10 times in 2 days. 10 times in 2 days. So Bulgaria has a lot of high-profile arm wrestlers that everyone kind of knows. Who have you not beaten and who you want to beat? Because I know you have beaten Krasi, like very recently, even on left hand, yeah.
It was our last competition. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was last year. Yeah, I would.
Who have you not beaten? I think that's a better question than who have you beaten.
I've put with probably almost every good puller. I've put several times with Deljakov, and I never won against him. I never won.
Christo.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to pull with him. Maybe now it will be my
You're
time.
closer in weights right now.
Yeah.
He's 70, 75, something like that.
He was 80 last time when
Okay.
he said. But I would really like to meet with Stefan Lengarov in competition. He's really strong top rower, so
Yeah.
I would really like to measure my wrist and hook with him. But if I gain more weight, like if I reach something like 85, like I was when the first wave of COVID started, I would like to pull with Sasho, because he's our top athlete. Maybe one of the most recognizable arm wrestlers in Europe.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would like to pull with him in a match. Maybe if we are in close weight, because now when I'm 78, he's mashing me.
Yeah.
But when I pulled with Krasi, I was about 79 or 80 kilos, something like this. So we'll see. Maybe it depends on what shape we will bring. Because I was in really good shape back then. I can't say for him what was his shape, but I can say for myself that I was in pretty good shape, because now Krasi is in much better shape, like Sasho as well. I'm really excited about his match with Irakli.
Oh yeah. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for both of them. It's I don't like. I believe it will be very hard to pin Sasho because he can stay away from the pad and his side pressure and the hook is real strong. But I feel that Irakli will take his hand. It will be like this. I feel like it's not gonna be impossible because Irakli looks too. He looks insane. He looks insane. So that's a good match. That's a really good match.
He is really impressive as well.
So how do you see that match? 6 rounds. How do you see
6 rounds.
Yeah.
I think that just Sasho is really, really, really stubborn.
He won't give up.
Yeah, he won't. For sure, he won't give up. So I think that because I've pulled with Sasho recently, and I know my shape, I know his shape, so I think that if Irakli can surprise him first round, but I think if even he takes his wrist, he won't be able to finish the match. I think Sasha will beat him in the worst case 5-1. In the worst.
5-1. Okay.
But we have one empty year, and I don't know what's other shape, but I'm pretty sure that strong biceps and hand control is not enough for Sasha.
Yeah, I think like Irakli is very tall. Sasha is I think he's shorter than me. So his Irakli's hand gonna be brought down. He will not be having the high ground, what he used to. He will be much different position. Like I'm seeing like I think Irakli can take 2 rounds, but after that I don't like because Sasha is so stubborn. He will not give up. He will keep pressing, yeah.
But also, I don't know what will happen if he surprises him from the first round and takes his wrist. If he tires his wrist, that also would be a problem, But we'll see. It depends on which hand the strap will be, how tighten it will be. There are a lot of factors, but soon we will see. But my bets in the worst case are 5-1 for Sasha. But this is the worst case.
Okay, okay, that's yeah. Some I think somewhat similar because Sasha is a beast, um, and Irakli is very good, very good. But like for me, it's interesting to find out is he that good? That's the match we want to see. You
Uh,
know.
because I remember that Irakli really struggled with some guys who pressed him. You know, he
Yeah.
had he managed to beat Makarov, but Makarov's style is a little bit different. You
Yeah.
know,
He tries to hook
he
you. He stays under. He's not
yeah,
pressing in. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
That's an interesting one. So
Because 2019, 19 it was, yes, on Europeans, like Irakli lost to Tabriz Safarov, who was
yes,
pressing him.
yes.
Yeah, but
On the
managed to
second
beat
round.
Makarov. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was on second round. He made really hard fight with Makarov first, but also it's like we'll see.
Yeah. But
It's
yeah,
interesting matchup.
in Europeans, first Irakli beat Makarov, then he lost to Safrano, and then Makarov beat Safrano in the final twice.
Yes.
It was the 75 is such a mess sometimes. You know, it's like in Worlds too. It was like Aktaya versus again Irakli and Makarov. It's I like that kind of in arm wrestling because it's so interesting. You know, when someone's really dominant, it's kind of cool, but you know, you want to see matches. You know.
Yeah. But what I saw, I think that Aktaev was in 80 this year in Kazakh's nationals.
Yes.
Will be interesting. I don't know if he will lose to 75 or he is coming with us in 80.
Yeah. Yeah. 80 looks even 80 is like 75 was, in my opinion, at one point the toughest class in everything because it was such just stacked with killers everywhere. Now everyone's going to 80, you know, and I'm like looking at 80 is like this is a tough one. This is really
Yeah,
tough. Yeah.
it's what I want because
And
2017,
Macaro too. I guess Macaro too is coming to 80.
yeah, he's 78 now, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's what Terzi told me so. And before our super match was cancelled, we agreed both to pull up to 79. But it will be interesting because 2 years when I was champion in 80, I was like doubting my titles because I see 75 and I said to myself, look at this class, it's like more killer than
Mm.
yours. They are more tough guys, but if they were so tough, why don't they come in
Why
80?
did they go up? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Don't never doubt your titles.
yeah.
Don't.
So
It's no, no. It's on everyone else. If someone wasn't there and you won, you still won. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
yeah,
matter. Yeah. Uh, let's look globally. So for you to be recognized as number one guy in 80 kilos, you know, I think yeah, Makaro would be a good match. Who else do you feel like you need to pull? You know, and you know you want to pull in from all over the world under 80 kilos.
under 80. I I want to pull first. The one guy I want to pull is Hamza. Like I feel like he deserved to be WAF champion 2019. He is the one who deserved the title because he had the hardest draw and his performance was
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. He looked
You
very good.
know, I think that he just ran out of fuel and a little bit changed my tactics in the semi-final, but in the qualifications he beated me fair. You know, like he almost depressed me and almost made me quit the whole competition. Like if I didn't rest the second round, I saw like my name was empty there, and I said, okay, I have like one cycle rest. Let's do it.
Yeah, if you had competition straight away, don't know
Yeah,
what would happen. Don't
yeah,
know what would happen.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Or if
Who
I
else?
or if I won against Hamza first time, I'm not sure if I could reach like top three, you know, because his draw was insane. Like after I had easier draw for the semi-final, but his draw was crazy. Like after this match, if I had his matchups, I'm not sure if I could qualify for top 3 back then.
Yeah. Who else?
I would really love to pull my friend Vladislav's,
Yeah.
I would like to pull Sam Harris, the Hellraiser,
Yeah.
Yanis,
Yeah.
I would like to pull with you as well, but I don't know what's your weight now.
I'm big, fat.
Yeah, because you look big as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I got fat. What did you do over quarantine? I got fat. I got big, but it's fine. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of good matches out there, and like, what do you prefer, tournaments or super matches?
I've been like in a lot of tournaments. I've tried like for myself every year if there is tournament like even local to compete, but I've been like in Vendetta format just once, like this with Nomad. So I would like to see myself in more Vendettas
More than that.
formats. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's like more individual,
Yeah, you kind of built for it. Like if your hook is so strong and no one stops you, tournaments are great, But someone stops you, you go into these wars. It's very hard, like in the last Worlds, Hamza, same level basically, and it just took most strength out of you. But in super matches, I think we kind of going to super match world because it's a little bit more entertaining to people, than watching a tournament. But I love tournaments.
Yeah, for sure. Tournament is also interesting
because you don't know who you're pulling, and you're looking at the screen and you're waiting when your name drops and who you got, and you're like, oh, and it's butterflies.
Yeah, it's different motivation, different feelings for every other arm wrestler, different mindset, different preparation. Every cycle, like you are waiting for a hook puller, for a top rope hook puller, and it's different.
You thinking like, I've been set up to pull Frode for 2 years now. So I'm like, every time I'm thinking like who you want to pull, I'm like, I cannot even think of who I want to pull because I have to pull him before, And all I'm thinking is one guy. It's one guy for 2 years now. So I'm kind of, I want to get that match done so I can start focusing on other things because all I see is Frode, holding in his position. That's all I see when I think about arm wrestling. Yeah.
So when will you pull? Because I saw like list like few months ago you made a list where you pull with him, like Vladislav's would pull. You made like big matchups.
Yeah.
But
we kind of scheduled it to, like, first it should been happen last March, then it should happen last August. Now it's again August 2021. But also we're gonna have Marat's pulling there. Marat's. I think you remember Marat's.
Yes.
Yeah,
I still have his t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. He's some, like, now he gets skinny, so he comes with your shirt. He comes with your shirt of trading. But it's like 4 super matches and something like that. Engin's gonna be there. I'm bringing Yanis. John Berzeng is gonna be there, so it should be very interesting. They're doing like first tournament international after COVID for Norway. They're very excited, and we'll see. But I'm like, I was so ready to go on that match last March, so a year ago, close to up to date, basically like 10 days. In 10 days I will have that match, and I was very ready. Now I'm more ready, in my opinion. I'm like, I have more time to get better. So
it's good that after 2 years you're still so hyped about this match.
Oh yeah, it's just like Frode is like a super match. Like, he's the king of super matches. Like, I would say there's Devon Larratt, and there's Frode. You can have 20 matches that look spectacular of Frode pulling. He's crazy. He's yeah. I love that. I'm like, this is interesting challenge for me, at least.
For all these years, I can say for him that he really has joints of steel. Oh,
I'm like, how is your arms holding on at all? Yeah. We'll see where everything goes. How do you feel that? Do you think Worlds gonna happen this year?
I don't know. Like I can't say because last year I prepared really bad for Worlds. I wanted to go in 85. Like I brought really my best shape, but everything was cancelled. So I don't want to make like any predictions this
Yeah.
year. I really hope that there will be Europeans at least or Worlds because my profits mostly come from arm wrestling.
Yeah.
If I have one more empty year, probably I will have to find some job.
So, yeah, I understand that. It's
Um,
and it's very very sad, but it's kind of understandable in this situation. Like I don't feel like Europeans gonna happen. They should happen in May. So March, April, May. It's 3 months, and
yeah.
there's no chance it's gonna happen. If they move to June or July, that's somewhat good for us. We can manage that. And if they move Worlds to December, then it's doable because like we expected, vaccines roll out and everything else. It's kind of dropping, but the governments are still kind of sketchy with everything, and they, it's
Yeah,
so
and
tired.
for sure, our sport, like in one sports hall, were like more than thousands of people.
Yeah,
Like and even on the stage,
holding
we're
hands.
so close
Yeah.
to one another. Even the referee, two referees are next to us. We are four people, like in two on two square.
Imagine
So
just what one people comes in infected, basically everyone. Even if you have like you have to quarantine everyone. Doesn't matter. You have the vaccine. I had COVID, so I have antibodies. Doesn't matter. You have to quarantine everyone. So
yeah.
it's like maybe they can do it with testing, on place and things like that, like in a bubble. But honestly, like we don't have that much money to make it happen. We don't have money.
To to test 1,000 people, it's like
Yeah, like many times for
yeah.
many times. Also, that's yeah. We'll see. Let's hope for the best, and let's see where any opportunity to pull. If lightweight top 8 happens, it happens in Turkey or what?
We still don't know the place. Like
Oh,
it will
okay.
be. It depends which country will give us like green light to do it.
Okay.
Because now I don't know what happened with Sandris.
Yeah. He
He
all his flights just got canceled from out of nowhere. They send him like
yeah.
everything's canceled, and he's like from what I hear, because I was in Dubai and he sends me messages. I'm like, man, that's bad. And he's like, yeah, what to do? And they get back to him and they say like they will not give money back because those flights never existed. I'm like, how is that even possible? What are you talking
Uh,
about?
so they just scheduled the flights
Yeah, and just
and yeah.
yeah, yeah. So Saunders will not be pulling Ciprano, and we'll see where everything goes. But
Yeah,
if they would do anything in Dubai, everything is possible there. I was like, really, like everyone's talking about Michael and Levan's match, and like we have not seen good arm wrestling or high profile arm wrestling in a long time. We want more. I would love if that match would happen, especially there. Like the guys are huge. They will get paid. Everyone will, we would enjoy watching it. Anytime Michael Todd pulls, it's gonna be a war.
for
I don't
sure.
see him not getting stopped in 6 rounds. I don't see it. In 2-3 rounds, maybe, but 6 rounds plus Levan, it would skyrocket arm wrestling. I don't
I
see.
was I was really upset, because Levan went to Dubai. They
Yeah,
didn't even
pull.
shot. They didn't even pull like normal practice.
Like we would do if I would go to
Yeah,
Bulgaria, if I would bring blood and you would be in 2 months in the same class, you would still pull. Doesn't matter. We would pull.
like for sure,
Yeah.
like you or me to come and just to stay and to lift weights.
What the? What the?
Like
What the?
yeah, but now did you see that Vitali it's with Hermes?
Hermes. Yeah. Yeah.
So probably they would be able. They will pull. They even filmed. so maybe they will upload video of pulling. But Vitaly
yes.
it's second in top 8. So for Vitaly, it's okay to pull with others, but if it's Levan against Michael, like no way, because Armbets won't be the produce company to film it. Yeah,
they kind of, I'm like, just make it happen. I don't see that much negative sides. I see more positive on that. But Hermes with Vitaly, like, I know they pulled yesterday, and I can talk with guys who were there, but I'm waiting for that video, because Hermes is so impressive. The hand control, the wrist, and I want to know where Vitaly is, because Vitaly might be the top guy in the world. Because when he was first time pulling Levan, he was good, but he wasn't grown into his new body. You know, he was 100 kilos for so long. Now he's 140 kilos, much more stronger. So I want to see.
He had 1 year. He had 1 year to adapt. So
it
will be interesting.
I'm pretty sure he's different arm wrestler.
But what will happen now if Hermes destroys him? No.
That would be amazing.
Imagine.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, people like the new fans always think we're kind of, you know, like in a boxing sport, you know, when you cannot, you know, in arm wrestling you can practice with anyone. So like, let's say Christo, 70 kilo top puller in the world, and Krasimir, 110 kilo top puller in the world. They will practice together, you know, and nothing bad's gonna happen, because it's arm wrestling. Everyone's thinking like we're boxing, you know, when the smaller guys don't spar with the bigger guys. No, it happens all the time, every time, you know.
Sure. Yeah, even it happens that sometimes it's more entertaining, even because some lightweights beats heavyweights.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. So I'm waiting for that, and I generally don't care who wins or losses. You know, who, like, I will have my favorites. Like, I really like Hermes. Like, I love how he pulls, his style, everything. He's very great top roller.
He's really complete. You know, his top roll is so complete.
It's like,
insane.
There's very little, like you said, like, spaces for him to get in. He's so complete. He's very entertaining to watch. I would love if he could win Vitaly, but I don't care. You know, we don't care. We just want to see it happen. Yeah, it's that easy.
I don't know what's the difference now, because Vitaly it's second. I think he also has contract with BRAWL.
Yeah.
So he can pull Hermes, but Michael Todd can't pull with Levan. Why?
I think it was just because everyone, like, if like, I arm wrestled Michael, and when you know, when you have not arm wrestled someone like Michael that has a king's move, you kind of expect different things. Michael will give you everything, so your hand will go straight away through, basically, to the pad. You're in your best position possible. And usually when I'm pressing, either you're gonna open up my hand and, you know, go over the circle in a big top roll motion, or you're gonna rotate in. Michael just lifts you up. It's just like this. It's something you don't expect anyone to do.
He feels comfort when he gives you comfort.
Yes, and that's everyone's kind of, you know, misleading. You're like, everyone taking Michael just gives it up. Michael doesn't care. He's like, he will take, like, he takes hand very low, so, like, your opponent, like, he will take really low grip and have a strap really tight, so the opponent's arm doesn't go up or down and it stays on place. He doesn't care. Like, any other arm wrestler, someone takes your hand very low, you're like, thank you, you know, this is a huge advantage for me. Yeah,
but it's very smart, because his pronation, it's really strong, and by doing this he could manage to use it more and more, like, I don't know how to say it.
And it's, you cannot hook him. His hand, like, it doesn't, like, it stays here. So it's impossible to hook him, to supinate him. It's impossible. You just get in his pronation, and that's it. So Michael has developed all his style, and when they did those tests with Levan, and Levan looked so impressive, and I'm like, yes, he looked impressive. And after I went to Dubai, I'm like, but Michael doesn't use any of that. He doesn't use any of those things that Levan is using, and I would say when you first time encounter real like I have encountered some Kings movers, but no one like Michael. It's hard to describe. You can watch some of the matches I have when I'm in real tight good position, and he just opens you up. And I remember we trained, like we did his training on the first day, and we were on table 3 minutes on table. No one has opened me up like that in a year. And I was waking up at 3 a.m. taking ibuprofen because my arms were hurting. I'm like, and I came somewhat prepared to arm wrestle, and it's a different thing. And yeah, I would love to see that match happening. Michael is so uncomfortable. I still believe Levan can win or will win, but it's an interesting match for sure.
I also think that Levan will win, but it will be interesting because his hand control, I don't know how much it improved, because even against Vitaly we saw some cracks.
Yeah.
And as well, before when he was in WAF, he struggled again with the hand control, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes, of course, he is the best now.
Yeah,
Like
he
on
improved.
paper,
He improved a lot.
he improved a lot,
Yeah.
but we will see, because it's not 3 rounds, it's 6 rounds, and
Yeah.
Michael, it's really has endurance from different space, so
Yeah.
this also is a big factor, you know.
I think like every arm wrestler knows this. The worst feeling is when you in a winning position, like this far from the pad, and you
And you
cannot
lose
pin
it.
the guy, and you do everything and you cannot pin it, and that's where Michael just starts arm wrestling. So it's putting people in those positions. And again, like looking back at history, no one has just run through Michael. Only one was Alexei Voivoda, and Michael wasn't using King's Move there. As like when he started using King's Move, no one had a 6-0 with Michael, you know. So I expect Levan to win, but I don't expect him not to lose a round. You know, we'll see. Let's hope it happens. It should happen. It's a match to have. It's a match to have. Okay, Bozhidar, thank you for talking with me. Yeah, I want to bring more attention to you because I really believe you're one of the baddest dudes under 80 kilos. Very underestimate. If you go to any tournament on a planet in under 80 kilo class, you would finish top 1 or 2. You know, 100%. Any country. You know, so it was nice talking with you. I appreciate that we are friends for so long, and
For sure.
and I want you all success. I want you to see pulling with Vlad. I remember like you had 2 finals with him in Europeans 2019, something like that. And I remember like Vlad won left, you won right, and we're having these finals. And it's so hard to to get in a mindset where you want to arm wrestle someone. But we're like, yeah, we're cool.
Yeah, for sure. Like I love you guys.
Yeah, you too. You too. So thank you, and good luck. And we're gonna talk again. I wanna, as soon as we know more details about the tournament you're going in.
For sure.
Yeah. See you soon, buddy.
See.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm very thankful for this conversation, and all the best.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Bye.
See you on the table.
Yeah, for sure.